Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture.
And I'm a little late with my Saturday morning makes, but I welcome you to my episode 4 of 2024.
Hey y'all, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. I am a little bit late and really don't have a whole lot to share today, but I think well, I'll just get into it. How about that? So this I actually made yesterday on Saturday. I'm filming this on Sunday morning, and I had some crafty time with a friend, and we made some tags, and this is what I ended up with yesterday. Now I used those big tags again from Dina Wakley that I purchased on scrapbook.com, and I have to say they're very thin, so the quality isn't the best in terms of doing mixed media or anything with wet mediums. Yeah, so it's really warped, and I even added another piece of pattern paper to the back to give it some more stability, and of course to clean up the back as well. But still, it's still warped, and so not really pleased with that. I'm going to have to put it under something heavy and hope it flattens back out. But I'm loving this stamp. So I used some different shades of green for the background. I just sprayed the Distress Spray stains and mica stains. I think I only used one mica stain. Or maybe I just used the mica stains for splatter, because I know you can kind of see the shimmer in the background with the splatter. But I used this beautiful stamp from Lavinia. It's called the Green Man. I cut the tag off, but they have a smaller one as well. But this is the large Green Man. And I just stamped him with Versamark, and then I heat embossed him with some gold embossing powder from Ranger. And then I used a variety of different stamps around the edges. Let me move these smaller guys out of the way. I used this little stamp. It is called, I think it's just Mystic Swirl. This one is Spanish Moss. This one is Berry Wreath. And I just stamped them randomly around the edges, and I did it in layers, right? Like I did the swirl. I don't know how well you can see that swirl detail on the corners. I did one over here too, but you can't really see it. But I stamped it, I heat embossed it. Then I came in with another stamp, and I stamped and I heat embossed until I got all of them on there that I wanted. And I just love that look. And then once I had all of them on there, I went around the edges with my Versamark ink pad, and I just inked up the edges, and then I added embossing powder, the same embossing powder that I used for the rest of it, and then got it all around the edges. And then I took a stiff paintbrush and knocked some of it back. Some of it I left it just as the ink pad created the line with the sticky ink, and some of it I brushed it back a little bit more to make it a little more organic versus these harsher marks. But yeah, I really love how that came out. And then I just felt like, so when all I had was the inking and the stamping and the heat embossing, I just felt like it was a little flat, because you guys know me, I love layers, I love dimension. So I pulled out this die from the stamp market, and I have two dies together. So I used the postmark one, but then this smaller one I also have just taped inside so that it would actually create a frame. And so I have two of them layered up in some metallic specialty cardstock. And then I added some lace trims to the side. This one is a gold trim, as you can see. And then the white, I just thought that kind of offset that a little bit. And then I went back in and I added some more gold and the really soft white splatters. Now, the gold splatters and the white splatters are actually those these contour pastes from Vicky Papiano, and I like the way that it's splattered. So I just squirted it out. Teeny, you can't even see it, but it's a teeny, tiny hole. So it's very controlled. You can use it in lots of different ways, but today I just used it as splatter, and I liked it. It's just really soft. And then I found these these words that created a sentiment from the clipping stickers. They're Halloween from Tim Holtz, and it says, "Lost in the woods, in the shadow of the trees, as when the howling of the wolf is heard, he must have gone crazy." And you can just create your own stories with these. They're not all creepy. The Halloween ones are creepy, but yeah, you can create your own stories. They're almost like writing prompts. Remember writing prompts from when we were kids? Reminds me of that. And then I just added some more charms to the top. I thought that was really cool. They kind of coordinate, you know, the leaf and the tree of life, and just thought it was really cool. And of course I added the lace. This lace coordinates with this lace, and just a little felt tie there as well, just to add some more green up there. And I feel like the white really offset that tag. I love it. It's different than what I've been doing lately, but I still love it very much. I also wanted to bring attention to this one. I just did a hop on Friday night with some crafty friends, and it was our hashtag, it was VALLOWEEN. This is VALLOWEEN was the name of the hop. And of course it's using the hashtag VALLOWEEN hashtag that I'm hosting for the month of February. So if you want to join in, make anything that's a mashup of Halloween and Valentine's Day and use the hashtag VALLOWEEN, and you're in. That's it. It does not have to be paper crafts. It can be whatever you want. And I will put the playlist for our hop downstairs in the description box, and you can hop along and see everybody's projects. But I just kind of felt like that was worth kind of an honorable mention. And then, you know, we often talk about how it's real, right? And not everything works out the way we want. So I was playing a little bit yesterday. Now this one is still wet, but I was playing yesterday with the idea of what is going to work on tinfoil. So I had those tinfoil panels, and I wanted to use this new stamp. Again, we were playing with Lavinia yesterday, and this one was recently gifted to me by a sweet friend, Lisa. And I don't know the name of it because I always trim the acetate, the plastic packaging down so I can, you know, have easier access to what's inside. So I lost the name. But anyway, I used her, and I used several stencils. So I stamped and heat embossed this one. Worked great. I wasn't sure. This one I stamped in black, stays on. This one I stamped in white, stays on. And you can see that this one is kind of blurred and kind of messy. That's because I added some fixative, and that actually activated that ink. Yeah, so this is the fixative that I used. And the only reason that I used that is because I added paste and different mediums to the pastes, and the paste wanted to peel off. So this is the stencil that I used for this particular paste product. And then I used, what did I use? Oh, it was some StazOn Glaze from Imagine. I used StazOn Glaze, the pink and the orange. I don't have them in front of me, but I'll try to remember to link them downstairs. But they come in a variety of colors, and they, in theory, because they're StazOn and they're solvent based, they should work on non-porous surfaces. But what happened was the paste, it adhered while it was wet, but once it was dried, it started flaking off. So that was why I put the workable fixative on there to hold, really to hold those in place. And this one I used a couple different shades of distress paint, and I just painted over the whole thing. I actually had paste on there, but it didn't adhere. It totally flaked off. So I just wanted her to have that underwater ethereal look, and I'm not happy with that either. I did go back in, and I was able to get the actual paint off of her, which I wouldn't have hated if the paint stayed over her in a very, very light, soft layer. But I'm sure it could be achieved. I just wasn't able to do it on yesterday. And this one, I was working on it this morning and thought, well, maybe we can get that look with some sprays. And of course the sprays, the mica or the distress sprays, are water-based. So this may never ever dry. I don't know. But I thought I'll try it out because, you know, I always say if you wonder what if, give it a try. Use the information and the knowledge that you already have, the understanding that you have of products and how they work, and give it a try. So I went into this particular one knowing that it likely will not dry, because it's a water-based product on top of a non-porous surface, and a non-porous surface that already has a fixative over the top. So this is likely moot. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but maybe someday they'll make it into something. I don't know. But, you know, oftentimes I know as a viewer, it can be intimidating because it feels like the makers, everything that they show is always, you know, really good and whatever, but that's not the case. We don't show the mess ups just because we don't want to waste your time. Not because we're not real, and not because mess ups don't happen, because mess ups happen. Trust me, mess ups happen. Nobody makes beautiful things 100% of the time. We screw up all the time, we mess up all the time, we make mistakes, we do whatever, but it's about your attitude about those things, and if you view them as actual mistakes or errors or mess ups, or are they opportunities for improvement? Are they opportunities for learning, for gaining a new understanding, for developing a new technique or a new way of doing an old technique? You can look at those mess ups in a lot of different ways, and that's what I tend to do. And I think most people in our community do, but I know when you're the viewer, it can feel like I can never measure up to that, and I would encourage you not to try. You don't have to measure up to anybody but yourself. You do you. When I say you do you, I don't mean that sarcastically. I don't mean that flippantly. I don't mean, because I know sometimes people will say that, and it's like in the South when we say, bless your heart, that's usually not a good thing, depending on who's saying it. But when I say you do you, I'm thoroughly and truthfully and wholeheartedly encouraging you to embrace your creative style and do it. I just encourage you, don't be intimidated by somebody else. We're all human. We're all human, and we all mess up, and we all have successes, and that's just part of the human experience, right? But I love you guys. I thank you for spending some time with me. I thank you for your patience. Hope that you'll hop over and see our hop and all the different creators and the fun things. Like, I learned so much. People's creative brains are just amazing to me, and I'm not intimidated. I'm inspired by what I've seen, by what these other creators have shown us in their videos and their take on this is Halloween or this is VALLOWEEN, that whole theme. So guys, thanks again for spending some time with me. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Mwah. Until next time, I'm out.